Welcome to the summer edition of the Sprint to Success with Design Thinking podcast.
How do you navigate change? It's a question we think about often, and one that today's world expects us to be comfortable with. The challenge, however, is where do you begin, and how do you develop the mindset and skill set to be successful? Welcome, everyone, to the Sprint to Success with Design Thinking podcast. I'm your host, Saba Kidwai. Join me each week as I share the stories and strategies from the world's leading researchers and practitioners about why they believe the answer lies in practicing design thinking.
We talk to a lot of people both in our community as well as people outside of our community because we love talking to strangers. They always ask us questions that other people will ask. I love talking to, new graduates, whether they're undergrad or grad school, because they're always trying to figure out what their next step was. I always knew what I wanted to do. So I love sharing my ideas and seeing how they look at those problems differently. So I think the advice for new graduates, a lot of the MBAs that I've been talking to, right, who've just graduated, right, and some of them already had jobs and some of them did not, they're like, oh, I don't want to rock the boat. I just want to, get my feet wet, figure out where my place is before. And I said, that's great, but is this something that you're passionate about, right? Is this, and they'll say, I don't know yet, or they'll say, I'm passionate about this space, but I don't have an opportunity to do that in my current role. And so the guidance that I give them is, you can always focus on your job and knock that out and rock it. But if there is an area that you're passionate about, find an opportunity to practice that passion, right? Because it'll go by the wayside, whether it's design thinking, whether it's, today your job as an engineer, but you want to be a business analyst, or run an innovation incubator. Reach out to people within your own company to say, hey, I'm interested in this. I know you're doing this. Is there something that I can work on or help out with? If your company is such that you don't have the opportunity to do that, then reach out to people in other companies to say, hey, I'm really interested in this, or be part of a community where you get to practice and flex those muscles. Like, this is not the time to limit what your opportunities are. We're all working from home, right? If you're doing your job, you have the flexibility now to take advantage of doing potentially other things, right? And I understand that for a lot of new graduates who don't have jobs, they're applying, their resumes are going into a vacuum. What I would say is reach out and become an intern, connect on LinkedIn to say, hey, looking for a mentor or looking for a coach, and they can connect you to other people. This is the best time to network. And what I found is that people are always willing to stay, chat for 15 to 20 minutes, right? And get yourself a project, create some timelines, create some metrics, focus on that outcome, right? Because when we go back to normal, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. And this is, I feel, an opportune time to do that.
I think the thing that I would share is don't expect that we will go back to normal in the context that we used to have it before. There is going to be a very new normal, right? And all of us are really uncertain about exactly what that means and what the impact of that will be. But there are some people who are really going to be focused on subsisting. They need to figure out, how they're going to live. 40 million people are unemployed. That is a really daunting challenge that is going to impact you. So understanding that will be a real challenge. But to what Diana said, finding projects and finding opportunities or areas that you're really passionate about and bringing your unique skills, bringing your unique passion to that and focus to that is really, really critical. I think that gives meaning, right? And it also gives you skills. As Diana also shared, building your network is really important. And this is probably the best time to do it. I do think that people are open to listening. I think people are open to sharing. I think people are open to collaborating. So building your network, and we've got the tools to do it virtually, even if we are not able to get together. I think it also gives you the opportunity to work together on a global scale. Now we're all, in a global living room together. So how can we harness this global energy and think about projects or think about areas beyond your small community? Think about jobs beyond your small community. Are there areas in other places in the world where we can be collaborating and working together as well? I think that there's a lot of opportunity for that. Another thing that I would say is that during the last deep recession we had, the global financial crisis around 2008, we saw such a spurring of entrepreneurial activity. I mean, that was when Slack got created, when Uber got created, when Pinterest got created. There were all of these startups that began at this time. If there's an idea that you have or a passion that you have that you want to explore, now is the time to do it. There are a lot of tools available. There's a lot of labor available to you as well. Figure out a collaborative project, bring some people together from around the world, and create something amazing that's going to inspire us all.
It's your turn to join the conversation by sharing what you enjoyed or what questions you still have. In a world where time and attention are so valuable, thank you for choosing to listen and for being a part of our Sprint to Success with Design Thinking community.